Hi, I'm Benjamin Bernstein with AstroShaman.com, and today I want to talk about how to tell the difference between a blessing and an infiltration. I had a fascinating experience a few days ago. My partner Makisla and I were doing some plant spirit work, and we were getting near the end of about a 4-hour ceremony, and we were just in the midst of shutting down. We always start our ceremonies by calling in all our allies, and we had, thanked them all, and we're on the verge of probably within 1 minute of closing the whole thing down. And it was time to close down because she was very tired, and it was pretty late at night at this point. And I noticed a weird feeling in my body, and it was like some kind of sensation, like through the left part of the neck, this part of the body. And I've done so many plant spirit ceremonies. I mean, well over 175 now, that I'm kind of familiar with how it works. And I thought, this feels like an infiltration. Sometimes when the dark side is trying to mess with you, it'll do a little small thing and then try to burrow in from there. So I said, okay, it might not be a smart idea to close right now, because I think I may be getting some dark side infiltration here. So the way I now work with that stuff is I just rest my full awareness in it. I immediately called from my divine maximum healing that serves highest good, please, which is my standard healing invocation for any challenging scenario. And then that always has two possible follow-ups. One is just breath awareness for a general cleansing, or something that's not particularly focused. But if there's something that's demanding attention, then I always advise putting your attention directly in that spot. So that's what I did. I just felt into that spot and felt this unusual energy, and even plucked it and threw it into the mesa a couple of times, but it wasn't going away. So this was very peculiar. I hadn't had an experience quite like this before. And so I, as Benjamin, did not know exactly what I was dealing with, because the ego has very limited knowledge, but the divine, of course, is all-knowing. And so since it wasn't leaving, I just said, okay, Spirit, I don't know what this is. If it serves highest good to clear or transmute or integrate this, then let that be so. But if it serves highest good for this thing to stay, if it's something good, then let it stay. Turning my decision over to the divine, which knows far better at that point what's going on than Benjamin does. And then I relaxed into it, merged with it. I've also found in shamanic ceremonial work, or just dealing with energy in general, if you are able to hold a state of awakening where you definitively know your divinity consciously because you're in it at that moment, then when you merge that consciousness with any phenomenon, if it's a phenomenon of darkness, the darkness will either be dissolved or transmuted to light, or integrated in a good way, where the energy becomes actually helpful, positive energy for you, or it will leave. If it's a positive energy, then you get to merge with something wonderful. And it's just a beautiful, blissful feeling. So I just merged with this. So basically the merge with it strategy for me works well no matter what the phenomenon is, dark or light. Because when you're in your awakened being, there's nothing that can harm you. So I merged with it, and then it started expanding and spreading. And after a short time, it was filling the whole left side of my body. And I was very keenly feeling kinesthetically. My eyes are closed, of course. I feel, okay, what's going on? How does this feel? And it didn't feel bad. It just felt interesting. And then I, was merged now. My energy now is in the whole left part of my body, and then it spread over to the right side. And soon I was fully engulfed with this new energy. And then it started expanding out, into the energetic field beyond me. And at that point, I'm going into serious bliss. So what it turned out was that it was actually a blessing, an upgrade. Right at the end, Spirit said, okay, let's take him up a notch. And so just receive that beautiful upgrade, that beautiful blessing. Now, again, the levels I'm working in now are way beyond thought. So there was no particular image, there was no concept associated with it. There was nothing my left brain could really grasp onto, other than I've got a nice energy, some sort of upgrade, some sort of expansion is happening, but there were no details for the left brain to ruminate on. I just relaxed into the beingness. And I found, again, this is a great strategy in doing higher level work because, once you get beyond the mental realm, thought doesn't work very well. You can only think of the vaguest generalizations or metaphors. So I just relaxed into this and had a really sweet energy. In fact, I'm feeling some of it right now, and just a touch of it, not as strong as it was, but it came back a little. And those of you who are energetically sensitive, if you tune in right now, you'll feel just a little bit of what I'm talking about, if you can tune in empathically here. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Just again, when you're doing, whether you're doing plant spirit work like we were, or you just move into the inner worlds in some other way, there's all sorts of awesome ways to get into the inner worlds. My experience, not knowing what it was, I guess what I'm here to share that might be helpful to you is first, just, be as awake as you can, be as one with your divinity as possible, because you'll always have the best outcome in any facet of existence that way. Everything's better that way. And plus, from that level, you can also be more aware of any phenomenon that arises without getting taken over by it. If you're not in your awakened self, if you're just operating from the human consciousness, then it's really easy to get steamrolled by something and overwhelmed and feel like it's beyond your control. Once you're awake, though, you do have choices and options you can use that aren't available to a person who isn't in that state. And then if you don't know, then ask your divine, because it does know. And that way you can tell the difference between a dark infiltration and a full light blessing, which is what mine turned out to be. So I hope this is helpful, and it's always a pleasure to share these videos with you. If you'd like to know more about me and my work, go to astroshaman.com. I do astrology, I do life coaching. My partner Makisel and I together do shamanic healing, and all that's available with tons more free info, including these videos and such, if you want to go to astroshaman.com and check that out. Thanks for watching.